Hey, and welcome back. This is Robert, and I am your happy, grateful, recovered alcoholic. And as we continue our segments of the 12 steps, this brings us to step 10. Continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. Now, as always, I like to speak and teach on the steps out of the 12 steps and the 12 traditions. So if you don't have one, I suggest that you get one. If you can't get a physical copy, there's plenty of copies available online to purchase, and then of course also in PDF format where you can read and even print hard copies of that. So I always believe in the 12 and 12 as I do my steps to get a good depth and understanding of what the step means. I believe in staying very, very close to my sponsor. In helping understanding the depth and the fullness of the step, as well as how to incorporate and implement that step in my life. And then also with other AAs, people that you meet coming and going from meetings and so on and activities, and find out, ask them questions of how they are working this step. This is surely an action step that we need to take daily. Now, I love the opening paragraph of step 10 in the 12 and 12. It says here, as we work the first 9 steps, we prepare ourselves for the adventure of a new life. But when we approach step 10, we commence to put our AA way of living to a practical use day by day in fair weather or foul. Then comes the acid test. Can we stay sober, keep an emotional balance, and live to good purpose under all conditions? This is a tremendous challenge, and I hope that we don't read through this too quickly, because we're going to miss the depth and the commitment that we need to make in order to practice this daily. You know, one of the things that I did when I first came into recovery, I was clean and sober 71 days, and then I relapsed, and I was really paying lip service to the steps because I wanted to belong, I wanted you to like me, I wanted to get the benefits without doing the work, and I think that can be common with many of us coming in. And of course that worked right up until I went back out and drank and used. And when I came back to the program of April 25th of 1986, I had a newfound commitment, a new sense of responsibility to myself and to others to dig deeper, to be more thorough. And this was really important when I got to step 10. It says here, the acid test. We stay sober, we keep an emotional balance, and we live to good purpose under all conditions. Now, I love the 3 aspects that this step concerns itself with. Staying sober is more about sobriety as an internally driven position rather than physical sobriety. Remember, Bill said that we feel not drinking is not enough. In other words, I can be sober physically, but not have no quality of sobriety or recovery in my life. So again, staying sober is more about an internal position rather than physical sobriety. Emotional balance. Gosh, I was a basket case when I came in. I don't know about you. Sometimes I still get a little out of kilter, but I know how to correct myself and get back emotionally balanced on the right track. Much easier. When I first came in, it was like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I was all over the place, up, down, sideways, because I was so externally responsive to everything around me. There was no depth of character. There was no commitment to any one set of idea. So by the time I get to step 10, though, my emotional balance is tested. And it's our new way of living, again, by not being externally controlled and being a good citizen regardless of our life circumstance. You know, we have to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. We have to live a particular way because it's the right way of living. Now, let's look at 3 areas that I've written down that we would want to consider as we daily live out this step 10. Number 1, I believe this step, the daily check yourself cousin to step 4. You know, in step 4, there was a great deal of history that we had to contend with in step 4, and now that we have cleared away the wreckage of our past, we are now ready to keep the wreckage of our present in check. This is the purpose and power, and it underscores the necessity of step 10. Let me read that again. We have cleared away the wreckage of our past in step 4, and then moving into step 5 when we admit to God and to ourselves and another human being the exact nature of our wrong. But now we need to clear away the wreckage of our present and keep that in check as well. And again, it underscores the necessity of me working daily a thorough step 10. Number 2, step 10 helps us deal and stay in the now. We have to stay in the now. We can't get into tomorrow, and we can't relive yesterday. My dear friend Slow Will, who is the person I heard the happy, grateful, recovered alcoholic from, he always told me to clear away the wreckage of my present so it doesn't become the wreckage of my past. Let me repeat that. To clear away the wreckage of my present that it doesn't become the wreckage of my past. And I really believe that if we don't take this approach and respect to this step, then the things we don't look at, take responsibility and resolve will creep up on us and be a deciding factor if we will stay sober in challenging times. Remember, we have a mental obsession coupled with a physical allergy. Step 10 helps alleviate any obsession as we are daily free and clear. And I can't stress this enough. This has to be done daily. This can't be done based on how I feel about the day. Again, it's like that measure of character. We do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Well, step 10 is the right thing to do. And I guarantee you, as it was true for me and others that I've seen, it will be true for you. If we do not clear away the wreckage of our present, it will become the wreckage of our past. And that wreckage of our past will pile up and pile up and pile up, and it will ultimately result in our relapse. And if we don't relapse, we are the lucky ones, but we will certainly not find freedom and joy and happiness, the things that we are promised in our recovery. And number 3, the personal inventory takes on a revolving life. As it talks about in the 12 and 12, we need spot-checked inventories throughout our day, an inventory as we close out our day, and the book also recommends a semi-annual and an annual house cleaning. I cannot stress the importance of this enough. Sometimes I get to the end of my day, and before I go to sleep, as part of my regimen, as part of my personal ritual, before I pray and I go to sleep, I do an active reflection on my day. And I try to recount where I made a mistake. Did I harm someone? But in the course of my day, I'm so excited in the course of my day when I can catch something where I might have been an offense to someone, and they might not even know it, but I know it. Maybe they're just a very forgiving person who cares for me, or they're just that type of person who has a tendency to overlook things. But I know when I've said something wrong. If I'm truly reflective and monitoring my motives and my behavior throughout the course of my day, I know in the course of that day when I need to go to that person or send that message or maybe make that phone call or send that email and say, when I did this or when I said that, I was wrong. My motive wasn't right, and if you'd forgive me, that would be great. And boy, that just lends freedom to the rest of my day. It frees me up. I'm not carrying anything into 3 o'clock that I should have taken care of at noon. Because oftentimes what that will do for me, that will sort of harden me a little bit, and it would cause me to justify why I did something, or it wasn't worthy of needing forgiveness or even being brought up where I would ask that person to consider my apology because of my action. And it's that kind of denial or justification that can incrementally build up in us that could cause us to even move away from that daily reflection, that daily need to look at our life and our day and how we interacted with others. So remember that a personal inventory takes on a revolving life. Now, in closing, in the 12 and 12, the book recommends, having so considered our day, not omitting to take due note of things well done, and having searched our hearts with neither fear nor favor, we can truly thank God for the blessings we have received and sleep in good conscience. And I'll tell you, what a blessing, what an outcome, what a joy that is to finally sleep good and to know that in the course of our day, we did the best that we could, knowing where we need correction, knowing where we need to go back to others, to ask forgiveness, to secure that relationship, to have the power that can only come from the freedom that a true cleansing that occurs in step 10 can bring us. I hope this has helped. Again, this is Robert. I am the Recovery Guy, and we look forward to our next time with you.